What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, you guys are having a good day so far. Happy Friday, by the way. Hope you guys have a good weekend lined up. In today's video, we're going to be covering the brand new Champion Chase tournament that just opened in game right now. It is for the Hagaba Fusion that's currently ongoing, and it's going to be the last summoning event for this Hagaba Fusion. Now, you guys let me know in the comments below how you guys are doing on this fusion. We did do a poll at the start of the fusion, and we had 10,000 votes on this poll, so it's a pretty significant sample here. Just, for interest's sake, right? How many of you guys are actually going for Hagaba? 18% of you guys wanted Hagaba. So you can kind of see here. And then we have 43% were going for Hagaba, but would trade her in. And then a good chunk of you guys are actually passing here. Almost 40% of you guys are just straight up passing on this fusion. This means that you guys don't want Hagaba. And it also means that a good chunk of you guys don't even want to trade her in for a tier 1 fusion champion. So that I would only assume that you guys probably don't have the tokens to do that. Maybe you guys missed the token from the Titan event, for example. But I'm actually really surprised to see a really big chunk of you guys not even participate in this fusion. Let me know in the comments below how you guys are doing in this fusion. Are you guys on track? Did you guys try and are on pace to finish? Or did you guys fail miserably? If you guys are failing miserably, this fusion schedule, we absolutely nailed it. Once you guys see the champion chase that's going on right now, in terms of what our overall plan was, there was 3 summoning events in this fusion, 2 summon rushes, and this champion chase. When you see this champion chase, you guys see exactly how well we did in our planning. 2,500 points for the fusion rare here. This is a extremely nice surprise, considering that I was expecting this rare to come in at 3,500, which was the most recent example of a traditional fusion style fusion, which was Pelops earlier this year. The rare champion, the void rare champion, so exact same kind of scenario, came in at 3,500 points. In this case, it comes in at 2,500 points, and this is an insane surprise for people that decided to go for the champion chase. If you guys were paying attention to my fusion plan schedule, I did recommend to go for the champion chase for various reasons instead of committing to 2 summon rushes. Total cost for both summon rushes was 14 sacred shards. If you guys committed 14 sacred shards to this fusion, I think that's a gross overpay, considering that the champion chase had lots of things going for it. So first of all, each one of these rares that you pull from an event is worth 50 points. You could also save the rares that you accumulate throughout the entire fusion and fuse them during this champion chase. So this is the epic that would have been up for grabs here. And you have the possibility of fusing 3 of these epics during this champion chase for 750 points. The other thing that was going really nicely for this champion chase was that we do have the Valerian chase. So I did delay my Valerian chase by 2 days. So I will be picking this up in about 12 hours or something. But that's a free 500 points towards this champion chase. And also, if you guys participated in any of the other guaranteed event champions, we did have the Talena, Deck of Fate, so I'm going to pull her also for 500 points. And of course, if you did Folin last month, you would be able to pull him also. We also have remnants from a fresh month of Hard Sin City. So there was just a lot of different places where we could pick up a lot of points without actually having to pull any shards. So in this event right now, we actually have a 2x shard boost for the Sacred Shard. This is not the most efficient way to get points. It is, however, the highest rate, legendary rate for the Sacred Shard, but Sacred Shards are best used for summon rushes, for Heroes Paths, for example, not for Champion Chase. Expected point total per Sacred Shard, even on a boosted event, is about 280 points. So if you guys were planning to pull Sacred Shards just for the rare champion in the Champion Chase, it would take you guys about 9 sacred shards. So as you can clearly see, it's quite expensive relative to even just participating in a summon rush. So I highly advise not going to use your sacred shards for this champion chase and trying to do the champion chase with other shards. The easiest ones would be using the small shards. But for me personally, I'm not going to use any shards for this champion chase, and we're just going to pull some fragments. We're going to fuse some broad balls. We're going to fuse the epics for the Hagaba. Maybe we'll pull the remnants if we're a little bit short, but I don't think so. So for example, I'll show you guys exactly what my plan was. So I did the champion training tournament. We have 2 of the rares here, and for future, right? For future strategy, for future things to take away from this video, you want to save these kind of summons or pulls during the champion chase. So watch this, guys. So I'm going to pull this 1 rare, and I'm going to get 50 points towards my champion chase. So I'm going to pull 2 of them, and then you guys will see that I will be getting the extra 100 points. We started the champion chase here with 61 points. We should have 161, and there we go. So these are just easy points. You guys don't need to collect the rares early. Just wait for the event to open and then collect them. So here I save the rare in the Fire Knight, for example, and we will collect her here for an easy 50 points. And if for some reason you don't collect them or the event disappears, the champion will just go to your inbox, but you will still get credit for it in the champion chase if the champion chase is live before your event expires, right? So here we got the Gear Hunters event. We just finished it. We'll pick up the rare here. There's another easy 50 points, guys. So yeah, we're just picking up some random points without even having to pull a single shard. So here, for example, we'll just do the fusion rares, and this is just going to give us a bunch of points. We have 12 of the rares already, so that's going to give us 3 epics, which is 750 points. So I actually ran out of food to finish off some of these champions, but I can get to that later. No big deal. We do have a training tournament happening right now, so this is just kind of like the perfect setup here, right? We're pulling shards. We have all of our fusion pieces together. We're training them up during a champion training tournament, and then we're getting credit for fusing them together during the champion chase. Like I said, during the fusion plan and schedule, all of this really worked out really well. The only really tough part about this fusion was that there was the choice of how to complete those 3 summoning events, 2 summon rushes and 1 champion chase. Now, the other thing some people were planning to do was actually going for the epic. Now, the epic here coming in at 6,000 points is actually not too unreasonable. My guess, it could have been anywhere from 5,500 up to 7,500 would have been my guess. Previously, it was 5,500 for 50 fragments of a epic champion. We've never had an epic champion in a champion chase tournament before. So 6K for the full champion seems kind of reasonable. It would have allowed you to skip basically both summon rushes, but 6,000 points in this champion chase in particular would not be easy to get, mainly because it's a 2x boosted Sacred Shard event, which means there's no boost for any of the other shards, which means you're just not going to be getting as many epics and legendaries from those shards. And you definitely don't want to use boosted sacred shards to try to get the 6,000 points. Just to put it in perspective, like I said, 280 points per sacred shard on a boosted event. If you're looking at it from purely a sacred shard perspective, you're looking at about 21 sacred shards for this 6,000 points roughly, which is a gross overpay compared to just completing the 2 summon rushes, which would have cost you 14 sacred shards. So like I said, highly recommend not using sacred shards for champion chase and trying to do it with other avenues. And I'm showing you some of those right now, which is basically pulling the rares from these events, fusing them into the epics. We got the free Valerian chase. So that would have been a free 500 points if you guys learned how to delay the Valerian by 2 days. If you guys don't, make sure you guys check out some of my previous planning videos on how to do that for future fusions. But mainly if you're on PC, you just want to click the letter R. And then after you click the letter R, you enter the shop, and then you just want to enter any other space in the game and then just X your way out to the bastion, and now you're safe. If you're on mobile, you have to switch to airplane mode and then get off of this splash screen. Make sure you reach the bastion and then turn your airplane mode off. Those are the quick rundowns on how to do that and how to delay your rewards. So really happy to see that the champion chase really worked out for us. Giving us a very inexpensive fusion. Total cost for this fusion would have cost us 6 sacred shards and a couple mystery shards. This champion chase will get done without any issue here over the next couple of days. Here we're fusing our epics, so we're getting points and credit for that here. Like I said, I have 12 of these epics, but I ran out of food for the I ran out of food to level up these 3 stars to 4 stars. So I have to make some food over the weekend. I used all of them to rank up some champions right now. So I just didn't have any, so I have to do it over the weekend. But here we go. Are fusing our second epic, so that's another 250 points added to our champion chase. And easy peasy, guys. Like I said, there were so many good reasons to participate in the champion chase. I know a lot of you guys were giving me a lot of flack on some previous plans about skipping the earlier summon rushes, but hey, sometimes it's not about being right 100% of the time. It's just about having sound logic and reasoning and then just following through on your game plan. Here we got 511 points pretty easily, like I said, from the 2 fusion epics. It looks like we just got updated into 761, so that's from the 2 epics, and also just collecting the rares along the events. Keep in mind they're worth 50 points each. So we're already a third of the way to the 2500 without having to pull a single shard. We have one more epic coming this weekend, which would push us to 1000 points, and then Valerian's going to come in and he's going to be 500 points, so that's 1500 points already. And we can easily finish off the 2500 points just by pulling Talena and Folin from the fragment portals, or we can work the remaining events, get the 3rd fusion epic. So the 3rd fusion epic would come from just grinding out food for the rest of the weekend, so we'll have that ready for the champion chase. You can actually fuse the 4th epic by completing the epic from the chase, and then the 3 remaining events, which is the Gear Hunters, the Classic Arena, and the Ice Golem. So once you have the 4th epic, you can actually fuse that here in the champion chase, and then you can fuse Hagaba or whatever fusion you want for another 500 points. And that's going to put us basically right under this 3,500 point threshold for these 100 epic relic materials. And that's probably where we're going to end up without having to pull any shards in this champion chase. And that's going to wrap up the fusion here. So like I said, a very, very cost effective fusion, only costing us 6 secret shards and 2 fragment summons for this champion chase. We don't even need to pull the fragment summons because we can pull remnants, for example, or actually just fuse some extra broad maws. But in this case, we do want to play here with Folin and Talena. So we're going to summon them just to build out for future content. But that's going to be it for this video here. I'm going to do the same thing on my main account. This is my alt account. And yeah, this is one of the reasons, exactly one of the reasons how I'm able to save so many sacred shards, how I'm able to save so many shards. Just having a reasonable game plan for these fusions. You can complete the fusions relatively cheaply most of the time. I know most people, they even suggest up to 10 sacred shards to complete fusions. I definitely think 10 is on the higher side. Most fusions can be done for between 5, 6, or 7. And then you just have to save some pieces and plan around the champion chase. This champion chase was not particularly good to pull shards on because, like I said, it was a 2x sacred shard. Usually, if you have 2x boost for ancient shards or void shards, they're a lot more efficient in terms of how many shards you need to spend to complete the champion chase. But we got a nice little surprise here from Plarium that this champion chase rare is only 2,500. So it totally worked out for us this time. And our game plan of skipping one of the summon rushes was 100% the most efficient route. But it totally made sense to participate in this champion chase, considering that we had so many things going for it. Like I said, the Valerian chase, easy 500 points. We had the epic coming in, easy 750 points. Each one of these rares are worth 50 points. We had a couple of fragment fusions that we wanted to pull. We have remnant summons refreshing over the month. So those are just easy points that you can save up for a champion chase, not to mention broad maws, mystery shards, and all that. So totally great that it worked out for us. Hopefully it worked out for you guys. Let me know in the comments below how you guys did this fusion. Enjoy your Newts, enjoy your Fabians, enjoy your Tituses, enjoy your Wixwells. And hopefully if you guys are pulling for this champion chase, hopefully you guys pulled something nice. Let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching until the end, guys. Once again, happy Friday. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. And hopefully you guys took away some tips from this video for some future fusions. Don't be too hard on yourselves if you guys are not able to clear this fusion. The traditional style fusion is one of the harder fusions to complete, mainly because there's not a lot of room for error and it requires some extra resources just from training up these champions and fusing them together. You also don't get a bailout from Plarium. They're not going to be able to sell you fragment packs or anything like that if you're short a little bit at the end. So don't be too hard on yourselves if you guys are just attempting these fusions and not being able to complete them. Make sure you check out fusion planning guides and organize yourselves and plan yourselves accordingly for fusions when you guys are attempting them. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching until the end. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.